Hello guys, welcome to the channel. For me, whenever I see a real value being extracted from artificial intelligence and especially this generative AI, it really makes my day. Unstract is one such tool which not only makes it so easy to extract unstructured data from your variety of disparate sources, but also make sure that you glean all the power of LLMs and generative AI at a fraction of cost. In this video, I am going to show you an in-depth review of this Unstract tool, which is an open source no-code platform that helps you automate complex business processes that involve long complicated documents with a human in the loop. Unstract goes beyond what current intelligent document processing and robotic process automation system are capable of achieving by leveraging the latest in AI, which is our well-known large language models. Not only that, but there are a lot of features which are very enticing about Unstract. For example, it tries to deal with two of the major pain point in the industry at the moment. First, extracting information from unstructured text data is pain in the back. It is very hard, very cumbersome because it doesn't follow a consistent format, especially in the real world, making it difficult for algorithms, even large language models which excel in OCR, to accurately identify and extract relevant data. Unstructured text data can include things like sentences, paragraphs, and documents, which can in return contain ambiguous language. Homonyms means words with multiple meanings, or they could include acronyms, abbreviations, slang, colloquialisms, context dependent meanings. So you get the point. It is quite hard. And especially in the real world, you could have handwritten stuff, you could have photocopied, you could have PDF, digital, in various quality and variants. So it is not that easy. And if you have ever tried to bring in your existing enterprise or company's data into LLM for the RAG purposes or for prompt purposes or for any other purpose, you know the pain. In my opinion, in my real world experience, one of the biggest challenge in introducing, in uplifting an enterprise to generative AI is making sure that all the unstructured data become structured so that LLMs would be able to better understand it. And Unstruct is one such tool which makes this process not only easy but also tries to keep the quality at very high standard. So this is the first pain point it addresses and addresses quite well. Secondly, the thing which it excels in, and I will also show you a comprehensive demonstration shortly, is prompt engineering. Prompt engineering at a very high level in simple words is a process of designing and optimizing text prompts to interact with AI systems such as LLMs to produce desired outputs. It's important because a well crafted prompt can significantly impact the quality and relevance of AI response. A good prompt engineer can rephrase a question or request to disambiguate language, provide context, and guide the AI towards a specific tone, style, or format, ultimately improving the accuracy, fluency, and usefulness of the response. By mastering prompt engineering, users can unlock the full potential of AI systems, making them more effective and reliable tools for various applications from content creation to data analysis and decision making. And that is why I believe that Unstruct, when deals with these two pain points and then uses the LLMs on top of it, it can really bring a real value to your company, to your enterprise, to your dumb data by making it more intelligent. So just imagine you have your company's data scattered throughout PDF documents, JPEG files, PNG files, maybe some text photocopies, stuff like that. You want to bring it to LLM. How do you do that? It is not an easy task. That is where you could build some pipelines with the help of Unstruct, and I will show you shortly how. And then from there, you can even automate the whole process. For example, your company gets invoices from your customers in some sort of storage. It could be S3 bucket in AWS or Google Cloud Bucket or Dropbox or Google Drive or wherever, maybe SharePoint. And you can define your ETL pipelines to pick data from that source, transform it by using unstruct, and then use LLMs to extract intelligence out of them. How good is that? Okay, so enough theory. I will drop the link to this unstruct in video's descriptions too, so that you can play around, because not only that, but they are quite generous. They offer a lot of credits which you can use for free. For example, to start playing around with it. For instance, once you sign up, you can start with $10 in free credit, where you can use OpenAI's GPT-4 Turbo LLM. You can use OpenAI's embedding. You even get a quadrant vector database which stores a numerical representation or vectors, and then you also get their LLM Whisperer tool, which is a really good tool for text extraction. I already did a video couple of months back on LLM Whisperer. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend search my channel and watch that video on LLM Whisperer, one of the good tools I have covered in the recent days. Okay, so once you sign up, then you would be presented with this screen. You can even go with LLM Whisperer, which I was just mentioning, or you could start your 14-day free trial by logging in there. So I'm already logged in, and this is a dashboard which you get when the first time you log in. Before I take you through this dashboard to see how exactly this thing works, let me show you how exactly this works in picture, because I just described to you what exactly this does. So you see on this screen, there are three main steps at very high level. First, you do prompt engineering in Prompt Studio. What it means is that you bring in your unstructured data. It could be PDF files, it could be anything. You give these files to unstruct, then you build your prompts by using that studio, and then once you're happy with your prompts, then you build a tool. Or it is simply, tool means that you build your prompts on your documents, and then you create a whole sort of container which they called as tool. You deploy that tool as a workflow or as an API, which can then be embedded into your pipelines for ETL or ELT, whatever your company uses, and then you can connect it to a lot of connectors like Google, GCP, any cloud provider. Sky's the limit there. And I would say that if your application, even the legacy one, if they support a REST API, then you can even use that. Okay, so now we know, I believe, very thoroughly what exactly this unstruct is. Let's go and play around with it. So once you would log into this unstruct, you'll be presented with this screen where you can see we have this prompt studio here on the left. Let me try to make it slightly bit bigger. Okay, much better. Now in this prompt studio, I'll click here. I will first create a new project. And in order to create a new project, all you need to do is to just on the top right, click on new project, and then you just give it a name. And by tool, what I described earlier, that it just contains your input, output, your workflow, your documents, your prompts, and I will shortly show you and it becomes more clearer. For the name, just give any name of your choice. I'm just going to give it my name. This is a sample project to demo unstruct. And then you can even select your own icon, but I'm just going to go with black. Click on save. You can close this. Let's wait for it, and there you go. So our new project is all ready. On the left hand side, we have our all menu here, and then we have what we called as prompt engineering pane. This is where you add and manage prompts that extract information from various types of document. And then on the right hand side, we have a document pane, and this is where you can view documents in their native, raw and summary forms, and we will see it shortly. Okay, now once, so in this project, the first step is to set up your LLM. So on the top right, click on this cog icon in the settings. From here, you see we have this manage LLM profiles. Click on add new LLM profile. Now here you can either select your default one, or you could go with the lot of options are there, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go with the GPT-4o. So I'm just going to say open AI GPT 3.5 or whatever. I'm just going to keep it as is. For the LLM, just select your unstruct trial LLM, which is in our trial account. And then for the vector database, let's go what is available, Postgres database. And by the way, there are various other options which you can use if you deploy it in the production, like Quadrant and various other options. And then we have this embedding model. Embedding model is used to convert your text into tokens, which is then stored into vector database. For text extractor, we are using their good tool LLM Whisperer. And then for advanced setting, I would suggest that keep them as is, and then click on add here, and there you go. So it has been added there. Now, if you go up, you will see that our OpenAI GPT is set up. Now, I will describe what exactly these managers are, especially the challenge manager. But first, let's go to preamble. Preamble simply means that it is a system prompt. This is a part of prompt which is prefixed to any prompt instruction that is sent to LLM, and this can be very useful to avoid any unnecessary repetition. So for the purpose of this video, let me put in this prompt, and this could vary from use case to use case. For example, if you are a medical domain, legal domain, just change it to as per your use case, and then click on save here, and then let's close it. And then we have something very interesting called as postamble. Postambles are like preambles and serve much of the same purpose, except they are suffixed to each prompt you enter, and in some cases they could serve as negative prompts which you don't want to happen. There you go. So I have just put in this here and click on save here. That is all good. And then let's click on X here to get out of here. So we have set up our LLM. Next step is to provide your own company's document or your own personal documents to document manager, which is on the right hand side. Now for that, simply click on add document. On the left top, click on upload a new files, and then let me load some of the files from my local operating system, local host. So I'm just going to use some card files. These are simple sample files, you can use your own. So let me upload 3 of different credit card files which we are going to extract data from. One is Amex, second one is Bank of America, and third one is JP Morgan Chase, and they're all done. So you see we have all of these files, and you can put in your own if you like. Let me click on X. So now we have 3 files, and you see already it has converted into a doc view, and you can see the doc view there easily. Okay, so that is done, and you might not be able to see the raw view as of yet because it hasn't indexed yet. Once you issue your first prompt, you will be able to see it. So we are done with our document manager. Now it comes to prompting. So for the prompting one, let's click on add prompt, and you will see, and let me make it slightly smaller. Okay, maybe a bit more. Okay, much better. So, and I'm just going to click here on this to see if I could make it here. Okay, so I've just grabbed some more screen space. Now, so we are into our add prompt. So we added this prompt here. Now for this one, we'll need to specify some field names. For example, if you look here, the first field name is just given credit card statement parser. I'm just going to call it CC issuer name. You can change it as per your own use case. Let me replace it here, and make sure that this is a JSON compatible, and I would suggest that don't put any spaces in it. And let's give it a prompt. So maybe you have come up with this prompt and you're asking it, what is the name of the issuer or the bank who has issued this credit card? I'm not interested in the legal entity, but the primary brand name of the credit card. And you see that we have uploaded some of the documents here, and I will show you how to manage the documents shortly. So we are asking it a specific prompt. And if this doesn't work, you can change it, then try again, then change it, then try again. So this really makes it so easy to come up with ideal prompt here. Okay, now once you have it, you see that there is this run button. Click on it, it is going to run it, and behind the scene it is using the LLM to extract the information from your documents which you have uploaded on the right hand side. So let's wait for it to come back. So LLM has returned the response, and you can see that in this document, the brand name is Chase. And if you look at the right hand side, the PDF document which has been selected is JP Morgan Chase, which is correct. Now, if I move through the document, for example, if I click on this arrow here, this is Bank of America, and the prompt response has changed on the left hand side. Let's go to another document, Amex. So you see there is American Express, and then so this is what enables you to go through your document, and for each document the response will change. How good is that? Another cool thing is that in the left hand side in this prompt editor you will see there is something called as output analyzer. If you click here, it gives you this output from this document with respect to JSON format. Amazing stuff. And then of course you can browse through it, and then you can move through the document. Let's go back by clicking on these arrows button. So the whole interface is quite intuitive. Now, on the right hand side, if you click on raw view now, you will see, because we have already issued our first prompt, so it has indexed it and created this raw format. This is very useful for debugging. For example, this on the left hand side, you issue a prompt and it doesn't give you the answer which you were hoping for. So you could go in and check if it has done the extraction right or not. Maybe the extraction was not right. Maybe your document is not good enough. And that is not that likely, because its extraction capabilities are quite good even from the bad documents, whether they are handwritten or whatever. Anyway, also let's go back, and sorry, not here. I'm just going to open that prompt editor again, and now let me add bit more prompts here, and then I will show you another magical thing which is called as single pass extraction. So now in order to add another prompt, let's click on this plus prompt side. On the prompt editor, let's change this credit card statement parser to maybe customer underscore name. And then you see that field type is text. And if you are expecting something else, you can go with number, email, date, boolean, JSON. And let me give it a field prompt, or what exactly we wanted to return. So click on prompt, and then you just give it your prompt here, like what is the name of the customer to whom this credit card statement belongs to, format the name of the customer, and whatever there is. And we are also checking that the coverage is of three documents, because we uploaded 3 documents here. So if you click on it, these are the 3 documents. It is even telling you token count, and later in the video we will see it is not only tells you token count, it also tells you the cost, which is very, very handy. Okay, so that is done. Let me add couple more prompts here, and then I will show you. So I have added few more prompts. So you see there issuer name, customer address, and payment information. Some of them are in JSON format, some of them are in text format, and they are just different prompts with different measures. And as I said earlier, this tool enables you to edit them very, very easily. Now you can either run them individually or you can run them together, doesn't matter. But the thing which I want to show you is this. Let me first run them to show you how it works. So for example, we just want to check the customer name. So let me run it, let it finish. So once you run it, you see it just does single pass. It just runs these prompts singularly, one at a time. Now, if you have used these API-based models like OpenAI GPT-4, GPT 3.5, Gemini, Mistral, you know that these API calls could go out of hand very, very quickly. And that is one of the thing with most of the tools out there, is that they could rack up the cost a lot very, very quickly. That is where one feature of Unstruct, which is called a single pass extraction, really shines through. Single pass extraction is a cost optimization feature of Unstruct. It not only reduces token usage, it also saves you cost around latency. So what happens is that when using LLMs for data extraction, the entire context must be sent to the model every time its field is extracted. For example, if we are extracting data from 4 different invoices, each with let's say 10 fields, you need to send the entire context to the LLM for each field. resulting in high token consumption and increased cost. With single pass extraction, you can streamline this process by enabling this feature with just a toggle in unstruct, which is at the top right. You just uh, let's wait for it to finish, and then we will toggle it to on. So once you toggle it on, you can enable this feature which consolidates your prompt. So instead of sending separate prompt for each field like we did here, we can create one comprehensive prompt that extracts all the required data in one go. This means you only send the context to LLM only once. And this approach dramatically reduces token usage, leading to substantial cost saving. And according to their data on their site, they have observed savings ranging from 5 times to 7 times. And by optimizing both cost efficiency and latency, single pass extraction makes your data processing more faster and economical. So for instance, if you look at this prompt site, you will see that we have run this individually and it has returned us the response, but it has run it singularly. So that induces more and more cost. So instead of doing that, uh, that we have run option with every prompt, if you just toggle this single pass extraction to on, you don't have it. You just get it in single pass extraction, and once you run it, it just runs it in one go, and then provides a context to LLM in one go, saving you heaps of cost. So let's wait for it to finish. And there you go. You see that now we have responses for all of our prompts here. You can double check them if you want to ensure that if the prompts are right or not. Another cool thing which you might have noticed is that single prompts can work for a variety of invoices. All of those invoices, if you check here in the documents, and let me again move through, they're all different. But still, you see, Bank of America is different, and then this Amex is different, and JP Morgan Chase was also different. But single prompt can work for a variety of invoices, even if they don't have the same layout structure. And you see that's very intuitive. You don't need any training. There is no need to worry about different formats of the document. It's all intuitive. You don't have to warm up or prime your model with the documents layout, because it can handle the complexity and variety of documents, including handwritten one, which I will also show you. Okay, so that is said and done. Now let me show you another cool thing about it. On the left hand side, you see that it is giving us the responses after every prompt. But what if you want to see the combined output? You just click here and it shows you the combined output when it comes here. And then already I briefed you about the raw output. Okay, and it also shows you how many tokens you have used here. So now we have seen what our prompt look like and how it enables us to do the prompt engineering. Now it just takes it one step ahead. Not only that, you can expose all of this as an API. For that, on the top right, click on export as tool, and then it is just going to create a tool out of it. Let's close it. And once you create the tool and you go to the workflow studio on the left hand side, and then you can create a new workflow. You can just name it anything like credit card statement parser API, and then click on create workflow. And if you look at the right hand side, you see our credit card statement parser is exposed as a tool here. There are also some built-in tools. So if you just take a step back and think about it, you have your own documents, you created a tool on top of it, a custom tool, and then you exported it, and now you can expose it as an API. So just drag and drop here on the left hand side. From here at the top, select your input. It could be API or it could be file system. When we say file system, click on this cog. You can connect it to any sync. For example, your data is coming from S3 bucket, Google Drive, Dropbox, even for any HTTP server. This is simply sublime. So I'm just going to go with API here. And then output would also be API, because we want to expose it as an API here so that we could call it from anywhere. So our simple API is ready, but of course you can create as much complex workflow as possible. You can add more tools, more steps, and then sky is the limit here. But for the purpose of demo, I'm just sticking to one step. Let's deploy it as an API. Click here and then maybe give it a display name of your choice. I'm just going to call it credit card statement API For description, again, just give it any meaningful description here. And then API name, make sure that there is no space in it. I'm just going to call it credit card statement parser and click on save here. And you can see that our API is saved. Now you see it also shows you in green here that this workflow has been deployed as an API. Click on this credit card statement API. Let's wait for it. And then this is where your API details are. So you see this is our API endpoint, and then this is what we need to make the API call. So make sure that you save it somewhere. And then also you need to go to this actions menu where the three dots are, and then click on manage keys. Let's wait for it. And it is going to bring up that dialog box. There you go. And make sure that you copy that API key, and don't worry, keep it secret. Don't share it with people because this is your bearer token. I'm going to delete it after this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click this copy sign, and then I'm also going to grab this API endpoint, and then I will show you how can we call this API externally. For the API testing, you can use any tool of your choice. You can even use simple curl command, but I'm going to go with the free hosted version of Postman. Just go to postman.co and sign up with your email address for a free account, and then you should be able to use it. Once it opens, simply click here the post, because I'm going to make a post HTTP request. In the URL section, simply paste the URL of your endpoint, which we have just copied, and then from here you need to click on this authorization and then select here bearer token. And then in this token, this is my earlier token, so I'm going to replace it with my new token. So let me quickly put it here. So this is my new token which we have just copied, and then click on this body, and then click on this form data. In the form data, make sure that you have selected maybe files key here. Just type files, or maybe small case, and then instead of text type, click on file, and then click here, and then you can select the file from your local system. So let me select a file from my local system. I'm just going to select a file from the Chase Freedom. You can select, of course, your own, and then give it a timeout value, that how much, sorry, I think I just overwritten it. I think I am having a fat fingers today. Let me fix it. So there you go. So I have put in the files, timeout, another key, and text type 300, and let's click on send here. Let's wait for it to return us the response. And this is calling our hosted API in Unstruct. And there you go, it has returned us the response, and this is the whole document which is it has extracted, and it has given us the information. So it means that you can easily embed this in your own ETL pipelines to extract data and get intelligence out of it. One really amazing feature with it is this. If you look at the bottom, it is telling us that how much amount we spent on the on it, and then it also, if you scroll above, you get, sorry, let me scroll down, there you go, at how much data you spent, how much tokens you got, how much is the cost in dollars, input token, what model was used, and then output token. So not only you get to know how your application and prompts are performing, but also you can easily do the cost planning and capacity planning with the help of this tool. And this is one of my favorite tools, by the way, because I'm hugely cost conscious, and I believe that this should be the cornerstone of any API based application, and AI is no exception. And there are a lot of other good features too. I could go on and on. For example, if you create a new project, I'm just going to call it more testing, and then just call it Fahad for testing, and then click on save here, close all. Let's wait for it to load. For example, if I click on add documents and I upload few more files from my local system, so let me go to my local system and grab few more files just to show you that how it supports, for example, something handwritten. So I have just uploaded it. Let's close it, and you see it has even grabbed the handwritten one. For example, if I I could add more documents if I like. I mean, there is no limit there. And then you can even attach few things. You can bookmark it. Lot of stuffs you can do with it. You can even upload some photocopied documents. So let me also put a photo invoice one. That is done. And then maybe I will also upload one more document just to show you the varied nature. Maybe a digital invoice. I just uploaded a digital invoice here. Let me close it. Let's close all. And then if you just go through these documents from here, you see this is a digital one. This is our photocopied one, and then general invoice. And there you go. We have our handwritten one. And then you can create the prompts and extract data out of them. So now on these different types of invoices, if you see here, I just created a prompt that what is the date of invoice, and then it has covered all three documents. So the for first document, this one you see it is 30th December 2023. It was handwritten. Let me move to the next one. This is a digital one. Again, you see at the left hand side date entered 2nd May 24. How intelligently with a different wording it was able to extract the date. And then look at the third one. This is again an invoice from February 5th, date due. So all that, even the labels of the invoice dates are different, but due to the intelligence of model, it was able to extract it and put it for us. And then again, you can export it as a tool, and then you can feed it into your HTTP application, which can just access your this tool with the help of HTTP call, post method, and then grab whatever they want to grab. And then you can just build your whole ETL pipelines with this amazing tool. Now, I know that I have taken a lot of time, but there is one feature which I just quickly want to mention because there are a lot of stuff here. So there is one thing called as LLM Challenger NA2, and I will leave it to you to implement. You can, as I said, you can implement multiple LLMs with it. You can even integrate Olama with it if you like. So for example, if you check here, if I click here and if you go down, you can click on LLMs. You see, if I just click on new LLM profile, you can integrate Olama, Replicate, Anthropic. And if you want to implement their LLM Challenger feature, which is a cutting edge technology that tackles the prevalent issue of hallucinations in LLM output, bringing trust for data extraction in production environment. So instead of relying on single LLM for data extraction, what LLM Challenger does, it allows you to configure two large language models. The first model performs extraction and the second model challenges the extraction field. Both models must reach a consensus on the extracted value. If the models do not agree, then they set the value as null, operating on the philosophy that null value is better than a wrong value. And I totally get it. Anyway, so these are the LLM profiles you can configure. And for example, if you want to configure Olama, click here, and then you know that base URL where Olama runs on localhost at port 11434, something like that. And then you can even set your context window and timeout. So very simple. You can have your own choice of vector databases, like you could go with Postgres or Quadrant, Weaviate, Pinecone, Milvus. All the major ones are there. For example, you want to select your own embedding model, you can go with Palm, Google's ones, OpenAI or Azure OpenAI embedding. For text extractor, I would always prefer LLM Whisperer, but you can go with Llama Parse or any other ones. And I'm more than sure this tool is evolving. There will be many options there too. So all in all, pretty comprehensive tool, I would say. And there are a lot of stuff which you can explore through their documentation. And then I will drop the link to their website in video's description. Let me know what do you think. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, do me a favor and share it among your network, as it helps a lot. Thanks for watching.